Hi, Mike Valentine with Crappie Masters. Just got back from Lake Fork, Texas for a one-pole ultimate challenge. What a great trip. We actually went down early and fished in the Crappie Anglers of Texas tournament the weekend before, so we got to spend some time down there. It's a great fishery. Highly recommend if you ever get the chance to go fish Lake Fork that you do it. It's some incredible one-pole fishing full of timber. What I want to talk about today is some of the keys to us catching a lot of fish and the bigger fish. While we were down there, it was right at the spawning part of the season. We were experiencing water temperatures anywhere from 64 degrees up to 68 degrees. So the fish were migrating to go back and spawn, and the water temps had been a little warmer down there for a few weeks. So it's just that time of year. But we found our fish in anywhere from 7 foot of water all the way out to 14, 15 foot of water. So the key for us while we was down there was getting in the trees that you would find some brush around the bases, or in the big thick hedge trees down there. We tried several color combos, several jig heads, you name it, we tried it. What we found most successful for us was using a Timmy Tom's jig head, which I have right here. It's a 1/8 ounce pink Timmy Tom's jig head. They have weed guards on them. Now, I personally prefer to cut the weed guard off, which I have already done. And we were also using big baits. This is a 3-inch Bobby Garland Cajun Cricket, one of the more popular colors that we use down there. We also used a 3-inch Slab Slayer from Bobby Garland in the pink and chartreuse, which is electric chicken. And we also were using Spikett's Junebug and chartreuse, very popular color today. It's a purplish color body with a chartreuse tail with the silver flaking in it. Gains a lot of flash going through the water. So color didn't seem to be such an issue down there. It seemed like we could catch fish on almost any color, but big baits key. Timmy Tom's jig head was the key. Why? Because it had this spinner on it. Now they make jig heads with spinners and without spinners, but most of the time I don't fish with spinners, but last week we had to use these spinners to get the bites that we were getting. So we would hook this bait up, big bait, 3-inch bait, get it on there. 66, 67 water temps down there, early April. We would find the thickest cover we could find and start at the top of the water column and work these baits down, trying to feel any brush or limbs that was underneath the surface that you could bounce this jig off of. We bounce that jig off a limb. It may not be this limb at 2 foot under the surface. It may have to fall down to a 4 foot deep or an 8 foot deep. But we just kept pitching the jigs in there and using our rods to slowly release the jig head into the water, find the structure, let it bounce off of the limbs, and it seemed like if you just kept doing that, we'd catch sometimes 2, 3 fish per tree. Sometimes we wouldn't catch any on a tree, but you'd find a lot of bites that way. And some of the fish were clear down at the bottom. We fished again anywhere from 7 foot of water out to 14, 15 foot. But the key was bouncing this spinner head. That spinner ignited the bite. The pink head seemed to work really great for us, regardless of the color of the body. But definitely a Cajun Cricket from Bobby Garland. Big bait was working good. If you get a chance to ever go down to Lake Fork, whether you can go in the fall or in the spring, we just happened to be there this spring during the spawn. It's great fishery. Recommend trying Timmy Tom's jig heads, spinners or without spinners. They all have the weed guard. You can fish with a weed guard or remove it, your choice. But get a chance to get down there, try it out. Try these out on any lake. Great jig heads. Glad they're a part of our team. Thank you for watching Crappie Masters.